The GPS said I'd arrive, but my ranch was gone Saturday morning. 2 hours from San Antonio. 8 years since I buried my father and ran from everything he built. The GPS chirped at our memo. You've arrived, cheerful as ever. I looked up, expecting the crooked wooden gate I grew up fixing with my dad. Instead, there it was. A polished wrought iron entrance like it belonged on a country club brochure. Stone pillars, security booth. A sign that made my stomach drop. Lakewood Estates, private community, residents only. I laughed once, a short, confused sound, because this wasn't a neighborhood. This was Sanders Ranch. 240 acres, my father's life's work, the lake where I learned to fish, the land where 3 generations of my family are buried. And now, someone had slapped a logo on it. I rolled up to the booth. The guard smiled like he practiced it in a mirror. Good morning, sir. Name and address? Daniel Sanders, I said. This is my land. His smile froze, then rebooted. Sir, the Sanders Ranch hasn't existed for 6 years. That sentence hit harder than grief ever did. I drove the perimeter road, hands shaking. 27 houses stood where cattle once grazed. Kids played on lawns my grandfather cleared by hand. A private dock sat on my lake with a sign that read HOA members only. That's when I understood. Someone didn't just steal my land. They sold it, brick by brick, family by family, and they forgot one thing. The only road in and out of their precious little paradise still ran through my untouched 160 acres. My land, my road, my leverage. I didn't argue with the guard. There's no point debating someone who thinks a clipboard outranks a bloodline. Instead, I drove straight to the Burnett County Clerk's office, a brick building that smelled like old paper, burnt coffee, and secrets that never quite stayed buried. The clerk, Marilyn Odom, looked at my name a little too long before speaking. Mr. Sanders, she said carefully, you should probably sit down. That's never good news. She laid a document on the table, a quitclaim deed dated October 2018, transferring 80 acres of Sanders Ranch to Sullivan Development Group. At the bottom was my father's signature. My father died in 2016. I let out a slow breath. That's impressive, I said. He couldn't even sign birthday cards from the grave. Marilyn didn't smile. The notary, she added quietly, died 6 months before this document was stamped. So let me get this straight. A dead man signed a deed, witnessed by another dead man, filed like it was just another Tuesday. That's when the humor drained out and something colder took its place. I flipped through the rest. Surveys, transfers, clean, too clean. Someone hadn't just stolen land, they'd laundered it through paperwork. I drove back toward Lakewood Estates and stared at those perfect houses again. 27 families living inside a lie, and one developer who assumed grief made me weak. He didn't realize grief just taught me patience. And patience, when paired with leverage, is how you end empires. That night, I spread old survey maps across the hood of my truck like a poker hand I'd been holding for 8 years. Sanders Ranch, 240 acres. Stolen by Sullivan, 80 acres. Still legally mine, 160 acres. And running straight through the center of my remaining land like a careless underline, Lakewood Drive. The only road in, the only road out. I checked the county records twice, then a third time just to enjoy it. No easement, no right-of-way, no permission. Sullivan had forged deeds, bribed surveyors, corrupted filings, but he'd been in such a hurry to steal my land that he forgot to secure the one thing his entire neighborhood depended on. That's when I laughed, not angry, not bitter, the kind of laugh you make when the universe finally tips its hand. The next morning, I called a contractor from San Antonio, not local, no connections, no opinions. Can you install a steel gate? I asked. How soon? He said. Before sunrise. At 5:15 a.m., the gate was finished. Heavy steel, deep concrete. A sign bolted dead center, private property, no trespassing. By 6:30, commuters were honking. By 7, the HOA president, Karen, was screaming into her phone like volume could override property law. By 7:18, the sheriff arrived, reviewed the paperwork, sighed deeply, and said the most beautiful sentence I've ever heard, "This is a civil matter." And just like that, Lakewood Estates learned what happens when you build paradise on stolen ground. If you're enjoying this story, like the video, comment where you're watching from, subscribe so you don't miss how this ends. Sullivan showed up 2 hours after the gate went up. Black luxury SUV, tailored suit. Smile stretched thin like it was borrowed and overdue. You're holding families hostage, he snapped. I'll bury you in court. I leaned against my truck, calm as Sunday morning. You already tried burying my father with paperwork, I said. Didn't take. That's when his confidence cracked, because the FBI doesn't care about HOA meetings. They care about forged federal filings, shell companies, hacked county databases, and money trails that glow like runway lights. 3 weeks later, federal agents walked Sullivan out of his office in handcuffs. Turns out forging deeds is one crime. Digitally altering county records at 2 a.m. is another. And laundering HOA money through fake management companies? That's a hobby prosecutors love. The families got restitution. No one lost their home. The land came back to me. And the road? I reopened it. $1 a year, permanent access, no expansion, and a small fund to protect the lake my grandfather stocked by hand. Karen resigned before the ink dried. A bronze plaque now stands where the old wooden gate once was. Joseph Martinez, the man who never signed. I come home now, not to fight, but to belong. Some people think revenge is loud. Sometimes it's just truth with patience and a locked gate. If this story moved you, like the video, comment where you're watching from, subscribe for more real justice stories, and tell me, have you ever had to stand your ground when walking away would have been easier? Until next time.